Hi, it's Lee up here at the range, and today I've got my brand new CZ Shadow 2 carry. So these will be the first shots through it. So we'll do some velocity tests, some recoil measurements, and a comparison to my Gen 3 Glock 19, and I'll give you my first impressions of it. Okay, so these are the first shots with my brand new CZ Shadow 2 carry, and these are 115 grain Blazer. We'll try double action first. I've got it on the decock position. Okay, so aside from that first shot in double action, looks like we did pretty good there. So recoil meter is showing 15.1 for muzzle rise. That's about par with my Glock 19. So we'll do another 15 shots. Okay. So we're showing 14.18 for muzzle rise, recoil width 1.99, and recoil angle 5.91. So close to what my Glock 19 runs. Okay, so we got another 15 rounds of Federal 115 grain loaded up. We'll try it again in double action. See if we do a little better this time. Yeah, that was better. So the double action pull is heavy and long, but you'd expect that. But afterwards you got that nice single action trigger. Definitely feels different than the Glock 19. Doesn't seem to have as much, flip in the muzzle, but more like a pushback in your hands. It's definitely a lot more accurate than I am. So I will load up another 15. The reset's a little longer than my Glock 19 with the Johnny Glock's trigger in it. So far I like it. It's definitely different than the Glock 19. This is the first all metal gun that I've had, and the first hammer fired that I've had as well in semi-automatic. So let's see those. So got 13.24 for muzzle rise, 1.15 for recoil width, and 4.99 for recoil angle. So that's pretty good. And I think one of those was that double action shot. So not too bad of a group. They're all pretty much in the same hole. So yeah, first impressions is I like it. The extra weight definitely helps tame the recoil a little bit. It has a different recoil impulse than the Glock 19, but you get used to it. So yeah, I like it so far. So we've got the Athlon Rangecraft Velocity Pro chronograph set up. We'll do some velocity test here with the 115 grain Federal. The box lists them as 1,125. The 1,152.9. 1,159.8. So the min was 1,152.9, so beat the box rating by about 27. Max 1,182.4, kinetic energy 364, and the average was 1,164.9. So beat the box rating for sure. Okay, so how we do so far? So that's the first shot in double action. I totally messed that one up. So if you count that for the 30 shots, it's a 4.5 inch group. Discount that, it gets down to 1 3/4 inch, and those are all in single action. The next 30 shot group, 1 5/8 inch. The double action shot I think was this one here. So definitely got a lot better with that. And then the last 15 rounds was 1 3/4 inch. So it's definitely accurate. Definitely a lot more accurate than I am. It's definitely on par with the Glock 19, maybe a little more accurate. I really don't know. So far, I'm impressed with how well it shoots and everything. Okay, so we're back here at 5 yards. And we've got the 115 grain Federal. So we'll go in the middle here. That was pretty good double action. I pulled that one way down there. I'm pulling a couple low there. That's all me, that's definitely not the gun. Okay, so let's go see how we did. So, probably the double action pull was the best. I've got a pretty good spread there. It's definitely all me. So, looks like about 1, 2, maybe 2.5 inches. Okay, so these are 124 grain Blazer, and the box says that they're 1090. We'll go up by the head. This is the target I shot the other day with the Glock 19 or the Glock 43X. So 998, so a little less than what the box says. 967.5. And that's 15, so the min was 905.5, max was 1007.9, so a little less than the box of 1090, average 959.1, standard deviation 25.5, and kinetic energy 253.3. Okay, so we'll do another 15 shots. We'll go a little faster this time. Try and get it to So we only picked up 24 shots, so a little fast for the Rangecraft. And it looks like I dropped a couple down there. Got a little wild there at the end. Okay, so with 124 grain, these were the first 15 shots, all nice and everything. Those were a lot faster, so I dropped some down there. That's all me. For the 124 grain, shows a multiplier 13.44, recoil width 9.98, and a recoil angle of 0.995. Okay, so we're loaded back up here. These are 124 grain Blazer. Now we'll go back up at the head, and we'll go faster this time. So the gun's definitely fast. I'm not as accurate going fast, but they all got in there. So now we got 15 rounds. Let's see what we can do here. So it's another 20 rounds. Doesn't look like I pulled any of them out. It definitely feels faster than my Glock 19, just because of the trigger. The trigger does seem a little nicer than my Johnny Glocks. So overall, so far, I'm pretty pleased. Okay, so we're back, and we got 15 rounds loaded in, and we'll do another velocity test. These are my 115 grain reloads. So 978.3. So min was 978.3, max 1037.7, kinetic energy 263.8, average 1016.5, standard deviation 18.3, extreme spread, and there. So we'll do another 15 shots. Well, it looks like I pulled one down, and must have shot a little faster when we picked up 28 shots. So averaged 1019.1. Okay, so we're back, and this time we've got the Glock 19, and these are my 115 grain reloads, so it should be an apples to apples comparison. Okay. Well, this feels a lot different in my hand. Let's go somewhere where we'll go down by the 9. 994.4, 1021. I think the triggers are close. The 19 definitely doesn't push back in your hands as much. Okay, so average 1011.1, min 962.65.2, max 1026, standard deviation of 26, and kinetic energy of 261. And the recoil meter shows muzzle rise of 8.41, recoil width of 1.38, and a recoil angle of 9.50. Okay, so we're back with the Shadow 2 with my 115 grain reloads. And let's see how we do. Okay, so that was last 5 shots. I had to fit 5 rounds in that magazine. So here's 15. And there's 15 more. So muzzle rise 10.72, recoil width 1.26, and recoil angle 7.53. This time I gripped it a little tighter, not with a death grip. I do tend to grip the Glock 19 a lot tighter, so I wanted to see what the difference was. So it's pretty close to what the Glock 19 was in muzzle rise. Okay, so CZ Shadow 2 carry. So I've got 200 rounds through it so far. Got 115 grain Federal, 124 grain Blazer, and some of my 115 grain reloads. So it is a door aluminum frame, so it's a heavier gun than my Glock 19. It comes in at I think 30.7 ounces. It's a 4-inch barrel. It does have the decocker on it, which is nice for carry. It has photoluminescent sights. My Glock 19, I've got aftermarket tritium night sights on it. The muzzle rise is a little more than my Glock 19, but I think that's just how I'm holding it. It does have a much more ergonomic grip. It feels better in my hand than the Glock 19. My Glock 19, I tend to death grip it a little more. So that's probably why I'm getting a little less muzzle rise on it. Accuracy seems to be about the same. Maybe a little better with the CZ Shadow than the Glock 19. I don't know. My Glock 19 does have a Johnny Glock's Combat Evolution trigger in it. So that makes a big difference. I think if it had the stock trigger in it, then the CZ Shadow would be a lot better. Took a little getting used to the double action pull to begin with, but I can be accurate with a double action, and a single action is nice and crisp. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. So next step's probably get an optic for it. I'll probably go with the Holosun EPS. I do like that it's direct milled for that footprint, so you don't need to mess around with an optic plate. I may put a light on it. I don't know. I have to see. But so far, after the first 200 rounds, I'm impressed. I really like it.